Chào mừng quý vị và các bạn đến với chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh trên kênh truyền hình FBNC. Thưa quý vị, trong thời gian gần đây thì có thể thấy là lĩnh vực nhượng quyền thương mại, đặc biệt trong lĩnh vực thức ăn và đồ uống đang trở nên rất là sôi động tại thị trường Việt Nam với sự xuất hiện của rất nhiều thương hiệu quốc tế. Và sắp tới đây vào tháng 9 của năm 2014 thì lần đầu tiên một triển lãm quốc tế về nhượng quyền thương mại franchising, gọi tắt là IFBO, lần đầu tiên do các nhà tổ chức của Singapore sẽ tổ chức tại Việt Nam, tạo ra cơ hội để rất nhiều thương hiệu của Singapore cũng như các thương hiệu nhượng quyền thương mại trong khu vực cũng như trên thế giới có mặt tại Việt Nam và tạo ra cơ hội cho các doanh nghiệp Việt Nam. Nhân sự kiện sắp tới này thì chúng tôi có cuộc trò chuyện với vị khách mời chúng ta ngày hôm nay, đó là ông Winston Lim, là tổng giám đốc của Bizlink, là công ty tổ chức sự kiện này sắp tới tại Việt Nam, và ông Sean Ngô, là tổng giám đốc của Việt Nam Franchises, là một tổ chức tư vấn về các lĩnh vực nhượng quyền thương mại. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Lim, so why did you decide to organize this event the first time in Vietnam, the international franchising and business opportunity?
Yeah, BC has been organizing a franchising and licensing Asia in Singapore since 2006. So it's coming to the 9 years in Singapore. So since then, FL Asia has become one of the very regional international show in the region. There are many shows in every country like Indonesia, Malaysia. In fact, there are usually more than a show in each country. But to stand out from the regional competition, our show has become very international. We may not be the biggest, but it's very international. So in our show, you can see all the brands from USA, not only Singapore, in the region is from US, Australia, UK, France, Europe. So we are thinking of bringing this show to other countries in the region. So we look at Asia as a whole, and we wanted to go to somewhere nearby as a start. So we look at ASEAN.
Okay.
And Vietnam being the third largest country in terms of population in ASEAN. And also we look at the workforce, being one of the a lot of young workforce in Vietnam, and the GDP growth has been quite strong these few years. And look at the culture, the people here are quite receptive of foreign brands coming in. So we did some studies and we did a survey with our existing customers, our exhibitors. They are all quite keen and excited about the opportunity to come into Vietnam.
So among the brands that come to Vietnam this time,
Right.
what kind of industry that we're looking at?
Okay, we have a lot from F&B and followed by education. Yeah, these are the two main industries.
F&B and education.
F&B, yes, yeah.
So, Mr. Sean, from your experience working in Vietnam,
Yes.
what is the big pictures right now in Vietnam in terms of franchising?
Well,
what kind of
certainly-
areas is hot right now?
Certainly, I think you mentioned, I mean, Vietnam continues to get a lot of international attraction from many foreign countries, including the U.S. and Singapore and the rest of the region. And I think, Vietnam, the last time we checked with the Ministry of Industry and Trade statistics, there were about 110 foreign brands registered in Vietnam. And about 15 of that is from Singapore, Singaporean homegrown brands. Of course, you have companies like McDonald's and Burger King which have headquarters in Singapore, and of course they registered those brands as a Singaporean company, but we all know that those are different brands from the US. So truly Singaporean brands, about 15 brands, and I think the interest from many Singaporean franchisors about Vietnam is very, very high based on the demographics and the economics that Winston just mentioned. And F&B, food and beverage, education, services and retail, they normally go in that order in terms of new markets.
And we have a lot of similarities in cultures as well between
Yes.
Singapore and Vietnam.
Yeah.
So for Singaporean franchisors, when you look for a franchisees in different markets, especially from Vietnam, what are you looking for?
Okay, franchisor, why they want to look for franchisee? Basically because the franchisee will know the local market better than the franchisor who is based in Singapore. So they want somebody in a market to know the industry, to know where to open the shops, to expand. And they're looking for a long-term reliable partner. And the most important is the right partner. They share the same vision and follow the system.
How about the track record of the local franchisees? Have to be
track
like a
record-
very big name or have to be very successful before?
Depending on what kind of franchise. So the big brands with, let's say, a lot of stores already. Of course, they want to look for partners with a track record. Especially if, let's say, they want to, they have a very aggressive aim to open many stores within a short time of frame. Of course, they need someone that has a track record with big capital. But there are many small, medium franchises. They probably look for someone, they are not so particular. Yeah.
So right now the F&B, the food and beverage industry in Vietnam is very dynamic right now. We see a lot of global brands coming too. So from your experience, do you see that the Singaporeans franchisors from F&B industry, are they aware of this trend?
Certainly so, and if you attend the FLA show in Singapore for the last several years, there's always been specific talks about Vietnam and the opportunities for Singaporean brands to come to Vietnam. So that is probably not something new to the market in Singapore, and really not new to the entire region. And I think people are just very, very excited about the opportunities in Vietnam, and nobody wants to come to Vietnam and expect success and great wealth, you know, in 1, 2, 3 years. Everybody is looking long term. And long term wise, you know, if you look at some statistics, Vietnam now has 93 million consumers, you know, with 1 million people born every year. It's not going to take very long for Vietnam to surpass the 100 million mark. And we talk about GDP per capita. Well, Vietnam today, as of 2014, it is estimated to be about $1,900 per capita. Which is not very far off from some of the other regional countries who have much more developed and expansive franchise systems in their markets.
So for the event like this, the exhibitions, international franchising and business opportunity in the past that you did before, when the brands coming to the exhibition, what kind of specific goal that they're looking for? They want to sign some deals, or they just want to have a talk with the local franchisee, or any specific goal that they're looking to achieve?
Yeah, it's a mix. Of course, everybody who go to the show, they'll prefer to sign up somebody on the spot. But they also understand that is not usually the case. They also want some time to get to know the potential franchisees longer, to know their background and everything. So it's not a kind of show like other typical show where you sell products, merchandise. People come, see, look at the products, like it, they just sign the deal. And this is really very important. It's just like a marriage. You have to look for the right partner. It's not a speed dating. You know, you see someone, okay, let's sign a contract. You know, so they actually want to get to know each other better. But surprisingly, in our show, FL Asia in Singapore, for the past many years, we were very surprised to see some brands who really secure master franchisee at the show. But they didn't sign a contract, but they signed a MOU. Yeah, that is something very encouraging.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll come back after a short break. Thank you. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là những chia sẻ của ông Winston Lim, là tổng giám đốc của BizLink. Công ty sẽ tổ chức sự kiện triển lãm quốc tế về franchising, nhân quyền thương mại tại Việt Nam vào tháng 9. Và những chia sẻ của ông Sean Ngô, là tổng giám đốc của Việt Nam Franchises, tổ chức tư vấn về nhân quyền thương mại. Quý vị có thể xem lại chương trình trên trang web của kênh FBNC tại địa chỉ là fbnc.vn. Chúng tôi sẽ còn quay trở lại sau ít phút nữa.